Hello everybody and welcome to ETH Insights. Today we have with us Anil Bhatia, Vice President and Managing Director, Emerson India. Anil has been at the forefront of steering Emerson's through the dynamic landscape of sustainable business practices and decarbonization initiatives of the organization. Hello Anil, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here today in your office.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Anil, as we speak of energy transition, you would agree with us that we are in a bit of a tough situation right now. Emissions are on the rise, there's a crunch for funds to deal with, the escalating climate issues. This brings me to India, Anil. We are making big moves to switch to clean energy and hit net zero emissions by 2070. In your views, what do you see? What are the challenges here? What are the opportunities? And how can we really be there by the required timelines?
Thank you, Queenie. A very valid question to begin this conversation. First of all, thanks to you and Economic Times for having me here. I think you made all the valid points as you started your conversation. Things are slow, but again, it is a challenging task, right?
Yes,
and I will, if I can dwell straight into India, although there are a lot of challenges, but I will not stop at that negative part. There are a lot of opportunities too. So let me dwell into few challenges. I think the whole energy mix. India is a large, geographical country with a massive population, and our reliance on coal is still heavy, and it is going to remain. So obviously, the challenge is going to be how to transition that into the renewables and the alternate energy sources, and it will have its own challenges, right? We'll have to have an infrastructure, we'll have to investment, and we have to have also then ensure that our energy security is retained. Some big challenges which will come our way is, of course, infrastructure development. As we go into solar and wind and the whole mixing the two, the conventional energy and the alternate one, we'll have to need a lot of infrastructure changes. The other important aspect, which I think you will agree, is the whole storage. As we move into alternate energy, we need to have investment to store. The renewable energy, the sun doesn't shine whole day and the wind doesn't flow throughout the day. So it is a very alternate kind of fluctuation source of energy. Hence we need to have storage solutions. Again, we along with the globe will have to develop some cost effective and efficient energy storage solutions. You dwelled upon to it in the beginning itself, financial constraints. These things are very highly capital intensive. So we'll have to make sure that we are ready with that, and both the private and the government are together in this to bring in that financial commitment required to move towards it. There is no other choice. We have to move. But again, that is a challenge. Other challenge, I feel India is moving at a fast pace, but still a lot to do is on the policy. A lot of policies are coming now, but I strongly believe if we don't have the right policies and regulations, we will never achieve success. So that is where it is very important that we remove those bureaucratic hurdles and have a very clear policy in place. And last but not the least, a big challenge in the whole workforce transition, and we have to ensure that we are regularly and continuously kind of upskilling the workforce. Having said that, a lot of opportunities also come now along with these challenges. Transitioning to the new energy is no option, as you agreed, and that will also create a lot of jobs. Because more investment in coming renewables, in other alternate sources, hydrogen, a lot of jobs will come. India can play a big role in technological innovations. I think we are a country of innovators, and I feel that India has the potential with the whole geopolitical shift the way it is happening. India has the potential to position itself for the hub of innovation in the green energy space, and then take that global leadership role. And I'm glad the way things are moving, we're heading towards that. Last one, which I feel is also going to be the economic diversification India will benefit from as we shift into these new energies, and that will reduce our vulnerability on the whole fossil price fluctuations. India will face challenges in achieving a sustainability and decarbonization goals, but the transition presents huge opportunities of economic growth, technological advancements, and global leadership in the fight against climate change.
This also brings me to the private sector's role. How is it really contributing?
I think the companies like Emerson and the private sector will play a major role. in Emerson, first of all, we are focused on our own greening, and we call it greening of Emerson, where all our new facilities and our existing facilities, we are embarked upon ensuring that we are following the greener path. In India, we had big investments in Pune and Chennai, where we have built the manufacturing plants with the latest technology supporting the whole green technology. We have the experience in the core energy, and what we are going to do by the greening by Emerson is work with our partners. And we are working with numerous partners in India and making sure we help them meet their sustainable goals, accelerate their sustainable journey by our solutions and technology. I strongly believe that the journey to energy transition can be supported, not only supported, accelerated by deploying new technologies. And that is where Emerson's various solutions like data monitoring, I strongly believe in future decisions will be taken by data-driven decisions, and that is where organizations like us will play a major role. Few other things: supply chain sustainability, collaboration and partnership, and finally, very important, employee engagement. I don't think we will be able to achieve our objectives if the employees in every organization are not part of this whole journey, and that is where the private sector will have to ensure that the organization's employees are kind of educated, empowered to take the decisions which finally help the sustainable environment.
But when we speak of the private sector, we speak of workforces. Policies play a very huge role here, policies or incentives. And although they have proven to be effective in propelling, sustainability and decarbonization initiatives, what are your thoughts on it, especially within the Indian diaspora?
Yeah, so I would say the government has done a good job in bringing new policies at a good pace, although it can always be more faster. But I feel a lot of good policies have been promoted by government, and I think which are helping the journey a lot. For example, the whole National Action Plan on Climate Change, NAPCC, or the renewable purchase obligations, or the Perform, Achieve and Trade, very good scheme launched by the ministry, are very helping a lot on this. Few others I would maybe indirect, but like the CSR, the corporate social responsibility mandating 2%, is really going to help a lot, because then companies like us are investing those in sustainable areas also. So I think these are the policies which will help us a lot. But one thing which we always forget sometimes, which I want to stress upon, that the bigger portion or the low hanging fruit is the existing plants and ecosystem who are today responsible for sending the greenhouse gas to the environment. So that is where also some stringent compliances have to be needed, and more automation around measuring emissions and predicting emissions is going to be very, very important, because sometimes that may get left behind in the trust for new energy. I think they will not go away. The old refining will remain, the old power plants will remain.
Yeah. So lastly, what collaborative approaches and partnerships do you think hold the potential to actually expedite India's transition towards a more sustainable economy?
Being an American multinational in India, I call myself global yet local. We are a local company in India, but in expertise of working with an American company, I think a lot of alliances can happen. So I think private sector collaboration with global players will be a major success as we move forward and go towards the next phase. What we really should avoid is reinventing the wheel. If something good is happening somewhere across the world, instead of trying to reinvent, deploy it here, and that will give us the faster results. So overall, I think a lot of partnerships possible and are happening, but I feel a lot more to do. And we as Emerson are very committed in working with many stakeholders on that area.
I totally agree with you, Anil. There is still a lot to do, like you say, miles and miles to go.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
for sharing your insights. Your expertise really helps us understand, the challenges and the requirements to go for the way forward, especially for where India is concerned. Thank you, everybody.